What is it about the Zippo lighter that clicks with so many people? The fire started burning right here in Bradford, Pennsylvania, when a similar lighter sparked the interest of Pennsylvania resident George Blaisdell, grandfather of George Blaisdell Duke, present chairman of the board for Zippo.
In the late 20s, my grandfather had the opportunity to become involved with a lighter from Austria. This lighter right here is the lighter my grandfather originally got involved with. It is the lighter that he developed the Zippo lighter from. It's a lighter that was imported from Austria that he was a distributor for, and it's a very simple lighter. As you can see, the lid is removed and it has a chimney around a wick with the wheel here that ignites the flint, which ignites the wick. It's a very crude looking lighter, as you can see, and once you're done using the lighter, you simply put the top back on. Grandpa took this idea and developed the Zippo from it, and what he did was he put a hinge on the case, as you see here, as well as what we call a cam that is operated by a spring. This allows the lighter to close and open. One of the nice things about a Zippo that's different from this lighter, it is a one-hand operation.
When the company first began in 1932, the first Zippo lighters were made in a room over a garage in Bradford. Just 10 employees made each Zippo lighter by hand. The company struggled for years, and it wasn't until World War II that the Zippo lighter really caught on like wildfire.
And finally, in World War II, that's when the lighter really took off, because during World War II, all of the production that Grandpa made went to the U.S. government for our GIs overseas. Through the use of Zippo in the overseas markets with the GIs and all, it became a world-renowned product. It became a product that every GI wanted and every GI had as a friend in his foxhole to light a fire, to, I guess, give him comfort, to light his cigarettes. After World War II, Zippo was a world-renowned product. People all over the world knew what Zippo was.
Thanks to the GIs and the lighter's fame in World War II, the once flickering business exploded into a multi-million-dollar company.
I'll blow your lighter out too, I will.
No, you won't. It's a Zippo, the lighter that's really windproof. Prove it yourself.
Try the fan test. See how Zippo lights with a zip, even in wind. And Zippo offers you free service for life.
That same Zippo company that once made individual lighters by hand has turned out more than 300 million lighters to date. And Zippo has grown from a 10-employee business into the largest single employer in Bradford, with more than 720 workers. Time has certainly proven that you don't have to be a soldier to appreciate a Zippo, and that there's not always smoke where there's fire. Smokers and non-smokers alike have made the Zippo lighter one of America's favorite collectibles. Each year, thousands of Zippo enthusiasts make the trip to the Visitor Center in Bradford, where collectors from all around the world come to salute the Zippo lighter. Linda Maybon, Zippo historian and museum curator, can attest to the lighter's widespread collectability.
I get to meet many people from all walks of life and all over the world. And what is really amazing is that the people that just love Zippo, they just can't wait to get here. Now, we are a small area, and we are not adjacent to a 4-lane, and we have a small airport. But it's amazing what people will do to get to Bradford.
Among the Visitor Center's many exhibits is the Zippo flag, which is made up of 3,393 individual red, white, and blue Zippo lighters. Go a little deeper into the museum and see where Zippo keeps the fire burning, so to speak. Zippo owners depend on the lighter's lifetime guarantee and the promise that if it breaks, they'll fix it for free. Here, visitors to the museum can look in on the Zippo Repair Clinic, where the flicks and clicks are restored to working order. Just what is it that keeps the Zippo lighter burning with such popularity that this has become the most visited museum in Pennsylvania?
One of the things that makes it so collectible too is all of the different finishes and the different images and the different adornment, shall we say, that we put on the outside of it. We commonly refer to the Zippo lighter as pocket art. And people say, well, how is it pocket art? Well, if you look at all the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of different designs, whether they be company designs, whether they be outdoor designs, whether it's a picture of a dog or whether it's a picture of a car, there is always something, there's always some design that appeals to somebody and they like to collect it.
Just how hot a collectible is the Zippo lighter? Like any collectible, age and condition are major considerations.
This is the original 1933 first production lighter. It is completely square. It's cut from brass tubing. The hinge is completely attached to the outside. It's what we call the outside hinge. Many people get confused. If they see the barrels protruding, they think it's an outside hinge. That's not the case. The entire hinge and the flanges are attached. It has no patent number on it. It says patent pending because we did not get the patent for the Zippo until 1936. On the collector's market, this lighter in mint or near mint condition would bring $10,000 to $12,000. It's very well sought after, and this is actually the lighter that made Zippo what it is today.
Thousands upon thousands of collectors attended this year's annual Zippo Case Swap Meet, hosted right here in Bradford.
This is our first time at a swap meet. So we've been planning this for, I guess, a year. And we love Zippos. We've been collecting since '87. And we've just gone nuts over it. I cross-stitch. Dana made his car. We're just totally into it. All our displays, we keep them on our dining room wall. I mean, and all my friends just think I'm really nuts. And I get real nervous because people say, you know, well, what do you guys do for fun? You know, and it's like, collect Zippos. But it's a great thing to collect because, like Zippo, I don't think knows how many different kinds and how many. Every time you turn around, you see a Zippo that you've never seen before. And it's so exciting. I love it.
On the wheel, like that. That's the starting position.
Bas van Esdonk traveled halfway around the world to Bradford for this year's swap meet.
It's different from what I'm used to. I've been to European swap meets because they organize them as well, but they're much smaller. And here you can find really rare lighters you can't find in Europe. It's an American thing, and that's really strange, but really cool.
It is an American thing. In fact, it's Americana at its best. But Zippo is not the only collectible American icon made in Bradford, Pennsylvania. In 1905, Case Knives moved into Bradford, and in the early 1990s, Zippo purchased Case Knives, merging the creators of two of America's favorite collectibles into one sharp company. The history of Case Knives begins with the Case family. John Sullivan, Director of Marketing for W.R. Case & Sons Cutlery, explains.
We started as Case brothers, and then, you know, as with any family company, sometimes maybe one brother doesn't get along with another brother, and so they went off and started their own company. And that's really how W.R. Case & Sons started. There were four brothers, and one of the brothers was W.R. Case, and his son was a salesman, and he was being very successful as a salesman and thought he could do better with his own company than being part of Case Brothers, so he and his dad started W.R. Case & Sons.
John Russell Case, successful salesman that he was, thought that he could give his business, W.R. Case & Sons Cutlery, an edge over his relative's earlier established knife company, known as Case Brothers. Case historian and archivist Shirley Boser describes the significance of the face of Case.
Because John Russell was a young man, and he was just starting out in business, and they wanted their company to have the older, more established look, because his company was competing with other companies, his uncle's companies, and other family members. He wanted to make sure that his His company had an older, more established look. And he had his picture and his father's picture, and then in the middle he had Job's Case. Job Case, his grandfather's picture in real big. In the top of the oval he put down, established in 1847, and that was his father's birth date.
The idea worked, and soon W.R. Case & Sons Cutlery whittled away the competition, rapidly becoming the most respected and collected knife manufacturer in the country. Even in the early days of the company, Case knives were known for their handmade craftsmanship and natural materials, and not much has changed.
We might have better grinding machines and better equipment, but we still have the hand operations. All that, we give it that extra kiss that they need to make it a case knife.
Case associate Larry Saar has had a hand in handcrafting case knives for over 34 years.
It comes in a coil of steel. Then they go to the presses and they press out the blades, springs, and then the brass, they have to press out the brass for the scales, nickel silver for bolsters. And then your blades and your springs go to heat treat. Then they go through the taper grinders or whatever grinders they have to. And that's to grind them down to the thickness and edges and everything on them. Then from there they go to the polishing bowls, and they're a big vibrating bowl. Has like little rocks in it, and they have a paste or something they throw in there, and the little water drips on it, and they run in there for so many hours. And they come out and then go down a track into what they call a heater. It looks like sawdust in it, a dryer. And they run through there and dry them. And they come out in a big pan, and we have people sort them, look for them for, you know, if there's any scratches on them or bad marks, and separate them there. You color the backs first, then you turn bolsters, you hard buff, grease buff, and they go on to the finishing side. And on the finishing side, they get over there, the fronts of the knife, they gloss buff the fronts of the knife, and makes it real shiny and pretty. Come back to the girls at the wrap and pack table. They clean them up a little bit better, oil them, check them, make sure they walk and talk, and it's all really all hand work on them.
Initially, when Case started manufacturing knives in the early century, they were made strictly to be a utility item. They were not created with collectors in mind.
When Case started as a company, we didn't build knives to be collectible. They're working tools, and each knife had its purpose and function. And sure, there were dressier models with a pearl handle as opposed to a wooden or a plastic handle. But over time, we started to realize that people were starting this sort of collecting phenomenon.
Thousands of collectors flock to Bradford, Pennsylvania each summer for the Zippo Case Swap Meet. And it's clear that as these two groups of collectors walk and talk together, they're really starting to click.
Folks care so much about what we build, about the knives we make. So it provides some interesting challenges too. If somebody collects your knives, they're your biggest fans, and they're also your toughest critics. So I mean, it keeps us sharp. Pardon the pun. Keeps us pointed in the right direction.